this is your first time, welcome. Glad you could be here. Just want to let you know, first off, my furnace went, so I'm having a couple fellows over here putting in a furnace, so it may be loud. There might be some banging, there might be some talking. If I hear it through the headphones and I find it distracting, I'll stop. But I thought I'd give this a chance because I missed yesterday with my eye appointment. Ed Scissor is an artist I've been meaning to get back to for a long time, and someone requested Spastic Max a day or two ago and reminded me that that track had been asked for a few times in the past, and I just haven't gotten around to it. It's produced by Lamplighter, another great UK producer. Like I said, you guys grow these guys on trees, man. It's freaking crazy. Anyways, gonna jump in. Big fan of Ed as a lyricist and as a writer. In my mind, he's almost unmatched in terms of what he's able to conjure up with his words. But anyway, I'm gonna jump in, give it a listen, see what they have for me. What an absolutely stupid beat. My goodness. I'm outstanding.
It was 1999, bonfire night, when the red mist first enveloped his character traits. He found himself with no control over his fists, wailing on some dickhead's face from his council estate. See, many moons have passed.
Interesting. My first thought was red mist is like a nickname for drugs or whatever, but I'm wondering if that means like some people when they say they're really angry with rage, they see red. So I wonder if he's talking about that, the red mist, because it goes right into them pounding the shit out of someone that was in the same housing complex as he is.
Fists, wailing on some dickhead's face from his council estate. See, many moons have passed since the hope of a 2.4 landlubber lifestyle were being smashed into smithereens. It was a year ago this very day that the intravenous sludge pumping had taken off at a wild speed. He found himself a regular at the phone boxes, cherry Lamborghini bi-carb from the corner shop. Back to the mold covered wormhole mattress stain, practice backy packs full of flints and butts stinking.
I gotta bring that back, man. Like I said, Ed with his lyricism. Going to the phone boxes and then back to his ratty mattress. So 1999. This is before the age of everyone having a cell phone. So I wonder if he goes to the phone boxes to the. That's where he calls his drug dealer, or he meets his drug dealer. He gets his shit, and he gets his booze at the corner store and his drugs from his dealer, and he comes back to his shitty apartment and his worm chewed mattress. Man, this is going to be a deep one as usual.
A sludge pumping had taken off at a wild speed. He found himself a regular at the phone boxes, cherry Lamborghini bi-carb from the corner shop. Back to the mold covered wormhole mattress stain, practice backy packs full of flints and butts stinking. Enough guzzling drugs, vein deposit lumps clogging his mug, stuck in the mud the AM doth greet him. Spastic Max sat in a deluge of acid tabs, flame retardant tracky pants and garage rap sketching. Seldom
sitting among basically a flood of acid tabs, overflowing like deluge. That's what that is. Man, it's hard to keep up obviously sometimes with Ed, because he'll take, not in a bad way, but he'll, sometimes it can be bad in, it can be bad when you do what I do in writing novels and stuff. If you take an entire paragraph to say something that could be said in 2 words, it can be bad. But when Ed takes this a simple idea and uses multiple syllables, multiple words, lots of word play in order to get a simple thought across, why it's absolutely beautiful and amazing at the same time. Sometimes it's very easy to miss. So, as you guys are most likely are aware.
In his mug, stuck in the mud, the AM doth grease him. Spastic Max sat in a deluge of acid tabs, flame retardant tracky pants and garage rap sketching. Seldom seen was he between A to B. Missions to spaghetti junctions, paints on the underpass. Hanging off the highest bridge, Rangoose quackathon. Throwing breeze blocks through speeding windscreens passing. He would climb electricity mains and cut the power from his hometown and ruin the streets, reeling in the panic and catching cold as sack hedgerows. Watching single mothers sparking matches in the darkness of their living rooms. His grief flourished like,
oh my god. He cuts the power in his neighborhood, this tiny little neighborhood, and watches the panic. Not only that, he goes around in the dark and peeks in windows of single mothers as they're smoking cigarettes in the dark. I can't say I've ever done that, but you can very easily take those words, man, and so bring it vividly to your mind. You can see it the second that you see or hear him say that. You can see that spark, that orange glow of the cigarette in the dark. Like, this absolutely beautiful storytelling.
in single mothers sparking matches in the darkness of their living rooms. His grief flourished like anthill communities. Couplets from an undercurrent colour source beneath the grey. Concrete corridors are monoliths in and around the pissy stairwells and pissy lifts in which he found his peace. Beneath the breadline, bread knife sliced at the smart price. Car crimes, carnage's hair grade. Cracked enamel pegs inside the garbage pail. Kid cabbage patch tapping veins until the sun decayed. He moved in.
So basically, as the video is showing, to the guy's poor as shit, as we already knew he's living in the estate housing and stuff. I'm going to bring this back because there was a lot going on in this one section of verse. I really want to hear that again, just to make sure I'm on the right page.
His grief flourished like anthill communities. Couplets from an undercurrent colour source beneath the grey. Concrete corridors are monoliths in and around the pissy stairwells and pissy lifts in which he found his peace. Beneath the breadline, bread knife sliced at the smart price. Car crimes, carnage's hair grade. Cracked enamel pegs inside the garbage pail. Kid cabbage patch tapping veins until the sun decayed. He moved inland for better dope. Cast away bastard face, forgot the names of his schoolmates. He moved inland like seagulls, sacking off trawler ship cast-offs for landfill luncheon. The coastline haunted his thoughts.
I really like that, the idea of he moves inland for better dope, but then he starts to forget the faces and names of his people he grew up with, his childhood friends. Remember, going back to what I had said, Ed will take this very simple visual of seagulls picking at garbage, and he takes that and makes it into something beautiful. Just listen to this.
The face forgot the names of his schoolmates. He moved inland like seagulls, sacking off trawler ship cast-offs for landfill luncheon. The coastline haunted his thoughts, so he thought ever more about taking a saw to his neck side. He had visions of.
So I'm guessing the coastline is where he grew up, and the fact that he's left his friends behind, everything else, the life he left behind, the thoughts of those things were so dark, haunted him to the point where he was actually considering suicide.
thought ever more about taking a saw to his neck side. He had visions of blood dripping over the floor of his 4x4 foot box bedroom next life. He'd open paperbacks but only paint the pages black and use a magnifying glass to spark a map of memories. Words would get deleted quicker than 100.
I gotta catch that again. What he said after the... I'm trying to think of what he's trying to say with that line, man. Such another great friggin' line, but I'm not, my brain isn't functioning and drawing those things, the lines in the right direction. But talking about opening paperbacks, just basically to paint it black. I'm not sure where he's trying to get at that. It'll probably come to me later on today, and I'll be like, shit, why didn't I say that in the video?
4 foot box bedroom next life. He'd open paperbacks but only paint the pages black and use a magnifying glass to spark a map of memories. Words would get deleted quicker than 100-meter dash.
I love that, man. Use a magnifying glass to spark a map of memories. Because the people use the magnifying glass to set fires, like set ants on fire and all that kind of stuff.
To spark a map of memories. Words would get deleted quicker than 100-meter dash. Another night laden with some fear and loathing imagery. You might have known.
Okay, so I'm wondering here if he's talking about like erasing the map of memory, like all that kind of stuff. He's talking about using drugs and alcohol to erase those things. And fear and loathing. I wonder if that's like a direct shout out toward the movie or the book, at least by Hunter Thompson. Interesting. Okay.
100-meter dash, another night laden with some fear and loathing imagery. You might have known him, the man behind those ram raids, the man behind the letter bomb sent out to several primary schools. You might have known him as the dude who scampered down the side of your house and made off with your penny farthing bicycle. He used to watch the freight trains, he used to fish for carp and beat his catches to a rancid mush with heavy-ended claw hammers. He used to sneak into the cinema and sit in front rows and laugh his head off to the Hammer horror matinees. He used to talk to people and people front rows and laugh his head off to the Hammer horror matinees. He used to talk to people and people used to talk him too. That was way before the crack, the horse, the drugs, the sniffing glue. That was way before the days of simply nicking pissy booze and jumping queues of peep shopping for shitty supermarket food. See, life wasn't ship shape, life was shit mate. Life was hookers tied to his bed frame with grip tape, blindfolded piss games, neck curtain shit stain, fist gate, listening to Rick James mixtapes. He was his mother's only baby pains, his mother's only Labor Day, his mother's one and only angel saint. His mother never thought she'd see a grave before the day that Max was raking cash and chasing pavements to the stock exchange.
I like that so much, man. If I'm understanding it correctly, the mother never expected to bury her son, especially not in this way, but rather she expected him to be successful, work the stock exchange. If I'm getting that right, having like a very productive and fulfilling career as a 9-to-5 corporate dude, compared to somebody who gets hooked on drugs and turns to crime and lives in a shitty 4x4 bedroom. If I read that right, I think I'm understanding that correctly.
Hello. It's Max.
What you want, Max?
I just wanted. Are you about in town?
I'm about. Where you at?
By the wreck.
Okay, cool. Listen, I'll meet you by the garages in an hour, okay?
Yeah, cool.
Oh, have you got the money?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's fine.
Alright, cool.
Alright.
His mind felt heavy, cracked skull matter case.
This video is freaking awesome, and it goes a long way to build upon the storytelling that Ed's doing right now. And I love how when they puts the phone down, it's almost like the beginning of the beat, and they give just enough of a break. I don't know. I just like the way they did it. It was perfectly done.
Alright.
His mind felt heavy, cracked skull, matter case, fragile flesh with lead bricks sat inside throbbing. He felt his face change shape and time ebbing away, the vital signs of life ankle deep inside a teak office. Sitting in the fourth dimension, he felt the raw depression of 40 horsemen stretching his organs' awful essence. He was ever omnipresent as
God damn, man, that stuck in the fourth dimension. So he's kind of like, he's stuck in this realm outside of his own body, so to speak. That's what I'm getting from that. He's kind of, he's kind of watching himself do these things and being kind of outside of his body, watching himself do these things and unable to make the changes he makes, or unable to stop himself. And it feels like 40 horses are pulling at him, like tearing him to pieces.
inside throbbing. He felt his face change shape and time ebbing away, the vital signs of life ankle deep inside a teak office. Sitting in the fourth dimension, he felt the raw depression of 40 horsemen stretching his organs' awful essence. He was ever omnipresent as a portal peasant, looking in the mirror clock a devil dressed in his reflection. During thunderstorms he found peace with life. He saw the rain as writing letters with Jesus Christ, and with his fingers he'd scribe letters across the sky. In the hood the constellations would free his mind, but deep inside his rancid flat, light flicker movements mapped, white face, wrinkled grimace, lager cans and backy gash. Lost in the soil for the Spastic Max, 6'2", 6 foot box, 6 feet deep in the cancer tank.
I'm bringing that sucker back, man. I don't care. I gotta hear that again. That whole last verse, just stupid. This whole section here, talking about he feels his face changing, the devil in the reflection. So he doesn't even recognize himself anymore. When he looks in the mirror, he actually sees a demon rather than himself. He doesn't even recognize the man that he's become.
Office, sitting in the fourth dimension, he felt the raw depression of 40 horsemen stretching his organs' awful essence. He was ever omnipresent as a portal peasant, looking in the mirror clock a devil dressed in his reflection. During thunderstorms he found peace with life. He saw the rain as writing letters with Jesus Christ, and with his fingers he'd scribe letters across the sky. In the hood the constellations would free his mind, but deep inside his rancid flat, light flicker.
So I wonder if this part here, he's saying constellations would free his mind. I'm wondering if he says he turns towards meditation and letters to Jesus Christ. So he turns to religion and meditation and all that kind of stuff, trying to find his way out of this hell that he's created for himself, or the hell that he's found himself in. Yet he turns to this, but yet he comes back to the cans of lager in his bedroom and the drugs and you know, he just keeps falling back into the hell that is waiting for him in his 4x4 bedroom. And the way that Ed ends this with a 6'2", 6 foot box and 6 foot under the ground, so friggin'.
In the hood the constellations would free his mind, but deep inside his rancid flat, light flicker movements mapped, white face, wrinkled grimace, lager cans and backy gash. Lost in the soil for the Spastic Max, 6'2", 6 foot box, 6 feet deep in the cancer tank.
Man, I gotta tell you, that song, I can see why it was highly recommended. It's deep. This is an amazing storyteller, an amazing story, a tragic story for sure. One that's all too familiar. My apologies about that knock on the door. So what I was saying is it's a tragic story that is all too well known and often ignored at the same time, which is strange. But Ed has done a tremendous job painting a picture with his words that it is impossible not to recognize and see. And for any of us who have lived in a situation or continue to live in a situation where you could connect with some of these things, the emotions he's able to stir and create are undeniable. Great friggin' song, as usual. Ed's a goddamn genius. What can you say? Thanks for suggesting this. I loved it. Hoping to get, again, like I said, I had a couple of videos I wanted to do this week, and then my week kind of went a little bit on its ear, but I'm doing what I can to get some We Got Next stuff done, because I am dragging my feet. It needs to get done. So until tomorrow, everyone, stay safe and be good to each other.